You think you're living your life through conscious choice, but that's only 5% of the truth. The other 95%, the silent majority of your existence, is broadcast automatically from your subconscious field. Every thought, every emotional reaction, every story you've ever told yourself is stored as frequency. And frequency doesn't just sit still, it transmits. Right now, your subconscious is sending a constant signal into the quantum field. That signal doesn't ask politely. It commands reality to organize itself around your dominant vibration. Quantum entanglement code. Quantum entanglement means two particles can mirror each other instantly, even across galaxies. Now imagine your subconscious as one particle and your external reality as the other. Every time you think a thought, feel an emotion, or make an assumption about life, you're sending information to the field. And because you and the field are entangled, that information collapses into physical form. This is not metaphysics, it's mechanics. It's how your inner code instructs the universe. Misalignment trap. Most people try to think positive, but deep down, their subconscious still vibrates at the frequency of fear, doubt, and lack. That's why they visualize abundance while secretly expecting struggle. They affirm love while subconsciously bracing for rejection. They chase success while carrying the identity of the one who always fails. The field doesn't hear your words. It reads your state. The misalignment between conscious intention and subconscious identity creates interference, and that interference scrambles the signal. Frequency rewrite. Here's the shift. You don't fix the subconscious by fighting it. You recode it through coherence. When your thoughts, emotions, and nervous system synchronize into a unified signal, the quantum field mirrors that harmony back instantly. This is what the ancients called faith. This is what modern physics calls wave function collapse. It's not magic, it's alignment. Quantum mirror reality is not showing you who you are consciously. It's showing you what your subconscious believes you deserve. That's the mirror. If your outer world feels stuck, repetitive, or draining, it's not punishment. It's feedback. The field is simply reflecting the code you've been running. And once you understand this, you stop blaming the world and start rewriting the script. Subconscious loop. Your subconscious is like an operating system written before you even knew you had one. It was programmed by repetition, emotion, and energy, not logic. That's why you can't think your way out of limiting beliefs. You have to feel your way through them. Emotion is the language of the field, and repetition with feeling is how you install new commands. Collapse point. There comes a moment where the old identity begins to collapse, when you stop trying to manifest from the past and begin embodying the future. That collapse can feel like chaos. Old timelines dissolve, people disappear, synchronicities spike. But this is the field reorganizing around your new code. It's the software update of the soul. Observer within the quantum field responds to observation, but not any observation. Only pure awareness has creative power. When you observe yourself without judgment, not fixing, not resisting, simply witnessing, you become the observer, the one who collapses new realities into form. That moment of stillness between thoughts, that's the doorway. That's where creation happens. Technique, the quantum recode breath. Here's how to access it. Breathe in through your heart. Imagine inhaling the frequency of your desired reality, not as a fantasy, but as truth. Hold it. Then exhale every identity, belief, and emotion that cannot exist in that reality. Repeat slowly. Inhale the version of you who already is. Exhale the version of you who was. Do this until you feel your heartbeat synchronize with your breath. That's coherence. That's the signal that changes everything. Field responds instantly. When you hold coherence, even for a few seconds, your entire reality begins to rearrange itself. Emails show up. Opportunities appear. Random encounters align perfectly because the field recognizes the new pattern and mirrors it. This is not wishful thinking. It's quantum matching. Resistance as feedback. If the shift feels uncomfortable, that's good. Resistance isn't the enemy. It's data. It shows you exactly where your subconscious code disagrees with your conscious desire. Instead of fighting it, observe it. Say, thank you for revealing the old signal, and then breathe back into alignment. Every time you do this, you weaken the old loop and strengthen the new frequency. Synchronicity as communication. Once your subconscious code updates, synchronicities explode. You'll start seeing repeating numbers, hearing songs that answer your thoughts, or meeting people who mirror your next step. These aren't coincidences. They're the field confirming. Update received. Your new timeline has been logged. Reprogramming through presence. Forget trying. Trying is tension, and tension blocks signal flow. The most powerful command to the universe is presence. When you exist fully in the now, not escaping, not grasping, the field sinks instantly, because now is the only dimension where manifestation occurs. Everything else is imagination or memory. Identity upgrade. Every timeline corresponds to a frequency, and every frequency corresponds to an identity. So when you say I am, you're issuing a quantum command. I am powerful. I am ready. I am the one. Speak it. Feel it. Not as affirmation, but as remembrance, because your future self already knows it's true. Collapse the delay. In the old paradigm, you believed manifestation took time. But time doesn't create. Consciousness does. When your inner signal is coherent, there's no lag between intention and materialization. Reality updates instantly because you're no longer asking for change. You're the change. Quantum code awakens. When you activate your new subconscious code, you'll feel it, not as a thought, but as vibration. There's a subtle hum in your energy field, a knowing, a pull. That's the code running live. It's the confirmation that your quantum alignment is complete. After the activation, do nothing. Let reality catch up. Don't chase. Don't analyze, just embody. The more still you become, the faster the external shifts occur. The field is intelligent. It doesn't need micromanaging. Closing words, long, cinematic, expansive. If you're hearing these words, it means the code has already been received. Something in your field, subtle, unseen, ancient, just switched on. You might feel lighter, or you might feel nothing at all. Either way, it's done. Your subconscious has remembered its original blueprint, the one untainted by fear, trauma, or conditioning, the one that always knew how to bend reality. From this moment forward, your life will begin to rearrange itself in ways your logic can't predict. You'll lose interest in things that drain your frequency. People will fade who no longer match your code. New opportunities will appear from nowhere. Do not chase them. Do not doubt them. Simply recognize them as reflections of your upgraded broadcast. You are not manifesting anymore. You are commanding. You are not wishing. You are transmitting. You are not hoping. You are remembering. Your frequency has become the instruction. Your field is alive. Your timeline is shifting. And now every breath, every choice, every moment from here is part of the code rewriting itself through you. So if you feel it, that subtle vibration in your chest right now, whisper it back into the field. Code received. Transmission integrated. I remain because you're no longer waiting for the quantum shift. You are the quantum shift. Welcome to your upgraded reality. Reality isn't linear. It's fractal. Every pattern you live repeats itself across scales, in thoughts, in choices, in events. The argument you had this morning, it's a micro version of the vibration you've been carrying for years. Fractals repeat until consciousness intervenes. That's why you keep seeing the same scenarios, the same cycles, the same people wearing different faces. You're not cursed. You're coded. The moment you witness the pattern without judgment, it begins to dissolve. The field doesn't need punishment. It just needs awareness. Once the loop is seen, the fractal collapses and a new geometry of reality unfolds. You are not one being. You are a hologram of infinite versions, all coexisting across timelines. Every choice you make shifts your position inside that holographic lattice. The self that doubts, the self that thrives, the self that heals, the self that loves. They all exist simultaneously as quantum possibilities. When you hold a single frequency long enough, you phase shift into the holographic slice that matches that frequency. That's why discipline and vibration is sacred work. Because when you choose coherence, you literally teleport consciousness to another version of Earth, one where your desires are already fulfilled. Most people think of the subconscious as a personal thing, but it's not. It's a shared grid of memory and emotion that connects humanity. Every time you clear fear, forgive, or raise your frequency, you're rewriting more than just your code. You're rewriting the collective code. That's why one awakened mind changes everything. Because when your personal frequency shifts, the grid recalibrates. Others around you feel it subconsciously. The universe doesn't respond to need. It responds to coherence. When your inner world and outer intention contradict each other, the field receives a distorted signal. But when you speak, feel, and act from the same vibration, the field locks onto it like a tuning fork. In that instant, probability collapses into inevitability. That's manifestation beyond effort. That's resonance. That's the level where the field says, as you wish. Stillness is not the absence of movement. It's the presence of pure signal. When you stop chasing the next thing, when you stop scanning for signs, when you simply become the frequency, you enter the resonance of stillness. In that silence, your electromagnetic field stabilizes. Your neurons synchronize with your heart, and the quantum field receives the clearest message it can possibly hear. I am ready. That's the point where the miracle begins. Every frequency has its shadow, the unacknowledged polarity of the light you claim to hold. You can't reach coherence by bypassing your shadow. You reach it by embracing it. Your fear, guilt, or shame aren't barriers. They're dense forms of the same energy waiting to be freed. When you face your shadow without resistance, it flips, instantly, into power. Darkness isn't the opposite of light, it's light compressed under pressure. And when you release that pressure through awareness, your frequency explodes upward like a supernova. There's a secret hidden inside every inhale. Every breath you take is a quantum download from the infinite field. When you breathe unconsciously, you recycle the past. When you breathe consciously, you receive new instructions. Try this. As you inhale, imagine drawing information from your highest self, the version of you that's already mastered this reality. Hold that breath. Feel it vibrate through your cells. Then exhale everything that no longer fits that identity. That breath rewrites the code. That breath is the dimensional key. Sometimes you feel déjà vu, that haunting sense you've been here before. That's not imagination. That's entanglement feedback. Your future self is reaching backward through the field, sending you memory echoes of what's already true in another timeline. When you follow those nudges, the sudden inspiration, the wild idea, the unexplainable pull, you align with that version of you who's already thriving. Those impulses are coordinates. Each one you follow moves you closer to the destination that's been waiting for you all along. Every reality shift requires a death, not of the body, but of the outdated identity. When you feel lost, when nothing makes sense, when your old goals dissolve into dust, that's not failure. That's quantum rebirth. The field dismantles what no longer matches your new frequency, so something higher can form. You're not being destroyed, you're being decoded and rewritten into a higher pattern. The bridge between the life you have and the one that's calling you is built one frequency at a time. You don't need to see the whole path. You only need to hold the vibration of the next step. As you do, the bridge builds itself in real time. People appear, resources flow, and timelines rearrange. Faith is not belief without evidence. Faith creates evidence. It's the frequency bridge between worlds. The most powerful vibration in the universe is neutrality. When you stop labeling things as good or bad, success or failure, win or loss, you step outside polarity, and outside polarity, you become the source observer. In that state, all realities are available, because neutrality is creation's blank canvas. That's where you can paint new worlds into being. Words are sound. Sound is vibration. Vibration is geometry. Every word you speak reshapes the geometry of your field. That's why ancient mystics said, "In the beginning was the word." When you speak consciously, every syllable carries creative authority. So when you say "I am," pause. Feel it, because the universe rearranges itself around that declaration. That's the quantum command. After every quantum leap comes stabilization. This is where most people lose their new frequency, because they expect the shift to feel like euphoria. But true transformation feels like stillness. It's the calm after the energetic storm. No fireworks, no drama, just quiet alignment. That's how you know the upgrade has settled in. The new code has taken root, and your old timeline has officially shut down. You've done it, not by learning something new, but by remembering what was always encoded in your cells. You are not the one searching through infinite timelines. You are the consciousness that creates them. The quantum code you've just activated will continue running in the background, silently reorganizing the hologram of your life. Over the next days and weeks, you may notice shifts, subtle or profound. Dreams will sharpen. Emotion is not just feeling, it's frequency geometry. Every emotion generates a waveform. Joy spirals upward, grief contracts inward, love expands outward in perfect symmetry. When you suppress emotion, the waveform becomes trapped, like a note held too long in silence. But when you allow emotion to move through you, the geometry resolves. The wave returns to coherence. That's why tears heal, why laughter restores, why surrender opens portals. Because every emotion fully felt completes its sacred equation. Your job isn't to suppress emotion, it's to complete the pattern so that your field can return to harmony. Memory lattice. All memories are not stored in the brain. They are stored in the field. Your body is a receiver, not the hard drive. That's why ancestral pain feels like yours. That's why karmic cycles repeat. Because the memory lattice surrounding your DNA holds records of every energetic imprint ever experienced by your lineage. But here's the revelation. When you raise your frequency high enough, those records reorganize. The lattice reconfigures. And what was once a curse becomes a code of wisdom. You don't escape your past. You rewrite its frequency. You turn memory into mastery. The collapse of linear time is an illusion born from limited perception. The quantum field operates on simultaneity. Every possibility exists right now. When you worry about the future, you entangle with a timeline of uncertainty. When you regret the past, you reactivate an outdated field. But when you drop into pure presence, you stand in the axis of all timelines, the still point where past, present, and future converge. From that point, you can access any version of yourself, any outcome. Time bends around consciousness that refuses to move. The observer's paradox. The more you try to change your reality, the more it resists. But the moment you observe without control, everything starts to transform. Because the observer's paradox states, conscious attention reorganizes probability. You are not a powerless witness. Your observation is creation. Every time you look with awareness instead of judgment, you collapse chaos into clarity. That's why miracles happen when you stop trying. The field is waiting for the observer to remember their authority. The resonant signature of truth. Truth has a vibration you can feel. It hums in the chest. It stills the mind. It expands the breath. Lies contract the field. They make your energy small. That's why alignment feels peaceful, not exciting. Peace is the body's confirmation that the frequency matches your highest path. Whenever you can't decide, stop asking, "What should I do?" Instead ask, "Which choice expands my field?" That's your answer. That's truth, speaking through resonance. The dimensional mirror. Every person in your life is a mirror, but not a reflection of your flaws, a reflection of your frequency. The critic shows you where you still hold judgment. The lover shows you where you are open. The enemy shows you where you've given away power. The dimensional mirror is not punishment, it's feedback. Once you change your inner state, the mirrors change too. People shift, relationships transform, conflicts dissolve. Because once the vibration changes, the projection updates. You never heal others. You recalibrate yourself. Quantum ripple effect. Every shift within you creates ripples across infinite dimensions. That moment you forgive, it echoes across realities. You have no idea how far your healing travels. A single act of compassion in this lifetime can alter entire ancestral lines, heal future descendants, and rewrite events in parallel worlds. You are the butterfly in the quantum storm, and your wings are made of awareness. 0 point heart. The mind analyzes, the heart harmonizes. Inside the heart's electromagnetic field lies the 0 point, the place of infinite potential. When your mind and heart enter coherence, you generate a toroidal field that connects directly to the unified quantum source. From that sender, every intention becomes command. Every prayer becomes physics. This is why love, not logic, changes reality. Because love is the only vibration identical to source itself. Return to source consciousness. At some point, the seeker realizes there was never anything to find. All the searching, the meditating, the manifesting, it was the source playing hide and seek with itself. When you awaken, you don't become something new. You simply remember what you've always been, a fragment of infinite intelligence experiencing itself through time. That's why enlightenment isn't a destination. It's a homecoming, a return to the frequency of I am.